Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Monday, September 6th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my broadcast for the next 3 hours. Don't forget, I'm always here for you. Come on in, chat. Come on in, don't chat. Relax, whatever you want to do. That's why I'm here. Welcome to all my Facebook peeps who come in and chat. Good to see you. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who lurk. These are people who watch but don't necessarily jump in. Hi Stephanie, how are you? Good to see ya. And welcome to my YouTube viewers. Hello, Sarah. Sarah Wolf-Thacker is in the room. So as soon as somebody can say hello, so I know that I'm seeing comments without any problem, that would be great. There we go. Hi, Sandra. I see it. Hi, all. Come on in and get comfy. Tammy Myers. Hi. I haven't seen you in a while. And there's Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda. Rondi. All right. We've got comments. Yay, hey. Okay. No announcements at the moment. Hello, Wanda. Wandy. Okay, so let me pull up some of these projects. I will eventually be working on this one. This is the one, the Rhapsody in the Forest. I've started to put in a little bit of the black already. Got an apple and a pine cone colored for you. Zoom in. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. Okay, and I was working last night on this from Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlzon. Zoom out. As you can see, I got more of the Lush work done. And the theme on this one right now is to have the orange, red, and yellow and have that reflect off the bottom of the fish. And you can also see that I went ahead and I put some stars on here and some rhinestones. So I'll be talking about that in a little while. So we've got lots of things going on. Now you don't want to put too much on. But I want you to see the fantasy stuff that you can do. Okay, and we have our pirate who's being taken care of by our mermaid. Zoom out. Yeah, Wanda's really been going at it again. She's got some beautiful pieces posted. So applause to Wanda. Woohoo! So we've got our pirate. I did our mermaid with blonde hair. I talked about this, dark and light, hope, despair. So yeah. Okay. Melba. I am so glad to see you. Doggone it, Melba. You've been gone so long. I'm assuming you're watching. Hello, Sandy. Oh my gosh, we're just getting everybody loaded up tonight. Melba, catch me up. What's been going on with you? Okay, I'm going to do a little mini tutorial here. I thought that would be fun. This is from Selina Fenech. I'm sure you recognize her work. Well, I can't say I'm sure you do, but you probably do. And this is from her book, Mermaids. Now, you got to be careful. She's got one called Enchanted Mermaids. So be careful between the two. So I'm going to show you how to make this fin transparent. So we're going to have some fun with that. Okay. And yes, I've colored this one. And I was showing you guys how to, how I put the moon on there. Okay. Oh, wrong box. So yes, I've colored it, but I haven't colored it for the group. So I'm going to get out my French curves. So Melba says that she's been busy with softball, football, cheer, band, hurricane in Louisiana, and working on interesting things to be announced soon, I hope. So are you going to announce it in this group? Are we going to make a big deal out of it for you? Okay, so this is tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to make this moon, excuse me, how to make the fin transparent. Okay, well, you let me know how you want to handle that and we'll get that squared away. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm going to try one or two things. It depends. Let's see here. We'll have to see how Selina did her. There we go. We can do that. Okay. Oh, your holiday wasn't fun? You spent the day on research? Ooh, I'd be thinking that a day off from work would be fun. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to draw the line of the moon through her tail fin. So we want to line up this French curve. and I'm going to draw a ridiculously light line. Zoom in. Rita, hello. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so you can see this very, very light line that I put on here. Now, as Wanda has mentioned, and I've mentioned, you've got to be extremely careful with drawing on your piece with the graphite. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer says, hello, hello, hope everyone is well. We're all sick, so I have the tissues and my coloring stuff. Jennifer, just don't confuse the two. Oh, bad joke. Okay. Zoom in. Everybody see that very, very light pencil that I put on here? Now, once I'm comfortable, and again, I almost hate to show you anything with pencil like that. You can use a gray pencil, which is a little easier to erase, you know, a colored pencil. Just be careful, okay? All right, zoom out. Zoom out. So I'm teaching you how to make this mermaid's tail transparent. So I'm happy with that line. And I'm going to draw that in. Now, guys, I got to tell you, not hard. All right, then I'm going to go through and I'm going to do this second part right here. Zoom out. All right, everybody see now how I've got that line. Cool. Let me set my French curves to the side before I scatter them all over the place. Okay. Now, you get yourself a pen, matching line weight, and all I'm going to do now is, let's see the best way to do this for you so you can see this, is I'm going to start drawing the moonscape right directly over her tail fin. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see the effect right away, right? Now, if you can make a squiggly, jagged line, you can do this, right? Repeat after me. I can do this. Okay, now somebody's got to humor me and say it. I can do this. All right, so I put 2 things here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make some more shapes on here. That almost looks like Australia. You need to tell me if I've got any Aussies in the room. Okay, zoom in, zoom in. So now I've got a little area down here. And we can go ahead and continue drawing this. And we can go ahead and draw a crater. Now, the way she's drawing craters is she's just drawing a circle basically with a line at the bottom. Why am I making squiggles as opposed to what, Rita? Zoom out. This is my tutorial for making a mermaid fin look transparent. And then we can make another crater here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make it look just like it hit. So now we've got another crater that hit here. And I'm going to continue putting the pattern of the moon here underneath the fin. Okay, what are you confused about, Rita? The tutorial that I'm doing tonight is how to make this fin of the mermaid look transparent. When I first started out, it was solid and it was blocking the moon. Okay. The squiggle lines are the craters that I'm drawing. I'm emulating what Selina Fenech did up here. Right, I'm drawing in what I see through the fin, or what you're supposed to see through the fin. Does that make sense now? Zoom out. All right, everybody see now how that has completely made this fin transparent. Now, let me take a quick look for something. And this is the one that I colored up. Zoom out. Everybody see that piece? So you can see now the difference between the two, and you can see right through her fin. And that's the effect that I'm teaching you to do. Okay? All right. And that's what I wanted to show you. Oops. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Now, the second step to this is I want to make a reflection in the sea. So what I'm going to do, and I really wish I knew where my super large triangle was, but that's okay. Is I'm going to approximate a straight line down to my water edge. And I'm going to do this on both sides. I'm just eyeballing it, that this distance is the same. Now, does everybody see how straightforward this is? And then I'm going to go through and very lightly put in the reflection of the moon. Because of course that moon is going to be showing up in this water. And then if you like, you can go ahead and take your pen and we can add a few more swirls to our piece. And what I'm interested in doing is zoom in, zoom in. What I'm interested in doing now is taking this all the way to the edge. So again, we need to do a little bit of corrective drawing, additions. And all of this that I've added is absolutely simple to add. Questions, comments, thoughts? Do, do, do. And you can already see how much better this is looking by making these lines closer together and adding all of this. Questions, comments about what I'm doing so far? Now, be sure when you add your lines, zoom in, zoom in. Be sure when you add your lines that you start back a little bit and then come forward. Because if you start on the end of where the line ends in the book, you will see a little bumpy there. And we want to make sure that these are as smooth as possible. Zoom out. Questions, comments about what I've done so far? There we go. Zoom out. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start my roughing in of my colors. This is a Starjoy light yellow, 025. And the only reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that I know where my edges are on my moon. Now, one thing that you need to be careful of, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Do not color over your pencil line with your colored pencil. If you do, that line's going to show up forever. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to color right up to it, just so that I know approximately where it is, and then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Now, the neat thing about the moon on this water is that it's going to be a little bit jagged. That's what you want. Because if you think about it, that moon reflection is not going to be exact. So if you want this looking really cool, you want to go ahead and roughen up that edge. All right, now here's my line. And I'm just cleaning up a few of my streaks. All right. And be sure that your ink is completely dry. I have a bad habit of running over my ink when it's still a little bit damp. So do be careful about that. Okay, now I'm just roughing in my color. And I'm not worried about shading at this point. I just want to get that yellow area defined. Oh, how pretty is that? Zoom out. Everybody see how cool that looks? Zoom out. All right. Now, I'm not going to do a whole heck of a lot with this unless you want me to. I've got a number of other projects that I'm working on. All right, so now I've got a really pretty teal green that I'm going to use. This is teal green, and this is my Castle Arts Soft Touch 105. Hi, Rebecca. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Oh no. Rebecca says, I thought I'd come hang out and rest from the frustration of the grill going out while I'm trying to make dinner. Well, that's sucky. Zoom in. Well, hello, Helen. Good morning to you. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Helen. So glad to see you today. Okay, now I've got the outline of the tailpiece working. And as always, when you're working with your smaller areas and your lines, be absolutely sure that you're turning your pencil. All right. Zoom out. Now, I'm going to tint that with a blue, but I'm not going to do that right now because I want to show you this effect. That's my main goal. And my eraser is hiding under my brush. Okay. Zoom out. Okay. Now our moon is going to be a pale, well, I'm going to make it yellows and golds. I may add a little bit of pink to it. Stephanie. So now I'm going to start paling out my sections where the moon's going to shine through. This is my Star Joy light yellow, color 025. And that's the color that I'm going to use at the moment, just to again tint in my areas. Zoom in. Be careful that you don't get into your teal, because you'll get a little green. Okay, so there's the edge there. And remember, these are all my preliminary colors, the tinting that I'm doing just to lay my roadmap. All right, beautiful colors, beautiful colors. Okay, now this material is folded over right here. So we've got that showing through. Zoom out, and let's look at that effect so far. Isn't that pretty? Zoom out. Okay. Now I'm going to use a slightly darker shade now on the rest of my moon. And this is my Zenicolor, and this is my chrome yellow. Now, once you start to add that darker color, this is where the transparency of the fins now is really going to start to show through. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. And again, I'm not really going to worry about my popcorn effect, but I do want to blend this as much as possible. And I'll pull out in a moment so you can see how gorgeous this is really starting to look. Let me give you a peek. Zoom out. Zoom out. Hey, Ashley. Good to see ya. Maddie's doodling in her book again. Zoom out. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? And again, I'm just laying my base colors, guys. Oops, got a little bit of yellow here. Zoom in. Okay, now, don't forget, we've got our moon at the bottom here. Let me adjust my camera just a little bit. And this yellow here is the same as the yellow that I have in the transparent fin. So, that should tell you that since I've gone through and put a slightly darker gold on the moon in the sky, like a great pizza pie, it's amore, that we need to be adding that same tint to the bottom of our moon here. And notice that I said tint. We want this moon down here just to be a little lighter, right? Now, keep in mind also, well, let me finish this here. My mind sometimes skips ahead. Just skipping away. Okay. Now I'm going to take the same color and I'm going to what? Shadow around my mermaid just a little bit. Zoom out. And guess what, guys? The mermaid is throwing a shadow as well. Right? So guess what? We need to darken this area behind her a little bit. Would any of you have thought about that? Yes, no, maybe? So who's willing to be my conversation starter in the room tonight? Get a little bit of chat going here. Although I do know that you guys just love to watch. Okay, zoom out. Let's take a look at that. Maddie says I'm drawing, but I can chat a bit. it's fine if you guys just prefer to color. I know a lot of you come in, but you know that I'm here to answer any questions if you have it. If you're new, please say hi. Rhonda says that she's working with gelatos and glitter. Uh-oh. Yeah, just tell me, yeah. Just talk about what you're working on. There you go. Okay. Everybody see now how this is starting to come together? Let's see what we got here. Rebecca says I can chat while I fight with thermodynamics over my dinner. Oh, man. I'm so sorry your grill went out. Rebecca says, I love to cook, but right now I'd rather be coloring. Yeah, and you know, same difference too is if you get frustrated with your coloring, you walk away and do something else for a while. Okay. Everybody see now how this is coming out, how the tail is becoming more and more distinct. Now I'm going to take a Starjoy Yellow Ochre, color 014. And we're going to start adding some really pretty shade around this moon. Zoom in. Oh, Kathy's working on Johanna Bass for World of Wonder. Cool. I love it when you guys come in and color while I'm chatting. A lot of you had told me that this is your coloring time, as Maddie just said. Rhonda says, okay, I'm done with the tricky part. I love working on fairy and fantasy. I can go all glittery and stuff. Cool. Yeah, that's a good topic for conversation. What kind of books do you guys like? I hope you like the ones I've been showing you and that you guys have been gifting the group. So what I want to know is, do you guys seasonal color? So in other words, as fall is coming up, are you going to start coloring? Are you going to start coloring more pumpkin stuff. Oh, Rhonda says, I'm trying to do Dawn and You Proud with this one. Cool. Yeah, don't forget to tag Dawn. She loves it. Okay, so I'm starting to do my outside. Maddie says it's still summer. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I love this tune. Okay, now notice how I'm dropping down the darker shade onto the moon. Maddie says it's still summer, ILene, until the 21st. Okay. Okay, everybody see how beautifully. Rhonda says, I'll do some out of Hello Autumn, but I'm getting interested in fantasy now. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring this gold down behind the fin. I'm going to lighten it just a little bit. So Rebecca Jones says, sometimes I'll find a seasonal picture inspiring. It's a mood thing. Oh yeah, you got to be in the mood to do whatever piece you're doing. Yeah, if I weren't in the mood to do this moon for you, I certainly would not do it, because that would cheat you out of good instruction, right? Quality instruction. And guys, while I'm thinking of it, please, please, please share this broadcast. Take 2 seconds and hit that share button so other people can enjoy this. Okay, now I want to keep this nice and yellow, nice and light. I'm going to keep my shading down to a minimum on top of it. And in fact, speaking of which, I do not like the intensity of that dark right there. So I'm going to get rid of that and tone that down. Okay, much better. Now we've just got a hint of color. All right, and now I'm going through and I'm making sure that that very, very light yellow is done in my light yellow area. Okay. Back to my darker gold and edging in of my moon. And what I'm going to do, I'll be blending that, is I'm going to eclipse part of my moon. So that means that I'm going to make a quarter to half of my moon slightly darker. So this is going to be a little more dramatic on this side of the moon. And I'm simply taking my gold and I'm tinting it. Now, this is a perfect example, guys. I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm allowing my pencil now to start deciding the color of the color that's going to lay down. And you guys know that I keep telling you till I'm blue in the face. Okay, Kathy. Okay. See you later, Rebecca. And I want you to notice now how this is angled down on the moon. It's not a sharp line at all. It is just a natural progression. And if you have any questions about how your moonscape should look, Google it. Look how pretty that is, guys. Tidy up just a little bit here. And then this is where you can, up to you, take your white pencil and emphasize your areas on this side to be a little lighter. And this is where I'm really going to make it a point to blur my colors between my lighter side and my darker side. Okay. And now back with my same gold. It is not wanting to sharpen straight. That's all right. And we'll go ahead and emphasize that edge again. And then gently bring it in. And now I'm going to take an Arteza Espresso Brown A071 and I'm going to emphasize that edge a little more. And you better believe that I'm hardly touching the paper with this. And then I'm blending that edge in. And of course, be sure to really smooth that out. Isn't that beautiful? And all of this I'll be smoothing out later. Okay. And then very, very lightly, black. And boy, am I hugging that edge, but I'm still blending it. Okay. Zoom in. Anybody have any questions so far about what I'm doing? Now obviously I'm going to smooth all this out. Okay. Fin area, I'm going to make sure that all of that is colored in. And I'm going to smooth that out. Oh, Maddie says, I'm going for a snack, but I'm taking you with me. Okay. Cool. Okay, now. let me get out my liquid pearls. Whee! Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now I want to show you a case I got a hold of. Let me make sure that I can pull you out far enough. You don't need to be seeing my wires. So this case I picked up from Amazon. And what it is, it's actually for nail polish. And it opens on one side like this, and you can put all your colors in it. And I absolutely love it because it's holding all my liquid pearls. Now, I'm going to pull out a couple of the pinks that I may be interested in using. So, I've got all my liquid pearls here. That's a pretty color too. And so there's the one side. And there's the other. So these are all my silvers and so forth. Now the really neat thing is it comes with some dividers here that you can put on the side. These side slots, it lets you create an extra slot here, which is what I did. And the really neat things, let me show you something. So it's got a handle. Now let me show you something else. Remember all my glitters that I had? It even takes these larger bottles as well. Now I put this color on here so I know where the opening side is. Ugh, this is stiff. And this thing is big enough to hold my larger bottles. So this is the glitter glue that I was telling you that I have from Bright Creations. And every single one of my bottles fits in there. And then I've got my silver and my white on the other side. So these are listed as for nail polish bottles. And yes, it's on our affiliate list. All right, let me pull my camera back down. Anne wanted to see a close-up of the liquid pearls bottle. What did you want to see? So these are the different colors that I've got. Oh yeah, they're perfect for nail polish, Maddie, as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my liquid pearls and I'm going to use this, it's a neutral pink. It's called Shocking. And what I'm going to do And did you see what you wanted to see for the close-up? Zoom in. Now, I'm not going to continue down because I've got to color this area in yet. But I wanted to show you this. Maddie, those nail polish boxes are, like I said, on the affiliate list. And I actually ended up buying 2 of them. One for my glitters and one for the, well, I bought it for the liquid pearl. And then I realized I could fit my glitters in there. How pretty is that? Now, remember that I told you that you want to keep these from peeking, so you take your finger and you flick it on the back. many granddaughters do you have? You said you have what? Two? Two or three? There you go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Twin girls. That was it. Isn't that pretty? And one boy. Okay. So when I finish the tail down here in the lighter colors, depending on what I do with the sky, then I'll finish with my liquid pearls. Questions or comments? I guess I'll have to leave my bottle out now. Oh, and by the way, these are great for stickle bottles as well. Okay. Questions, comments? Like, don't like? Doesn't matter if you don't like it. I'm showing you the technique, and you can decide for yourself. Okay, I'm going to pop over to another piece. Let me grab some water first, since I'm the one that's been yakking all night. Oh man, I've got so many pieces I want to show you guys. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and start up on this piece. So this is out of Rhapsody in the Forest. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Got lots of interesting components in it that I want you to see. We've talked about the roses and the apples. We can either call this lemon or a lime. I'm sorry, an orange or a lemon. Zoom in. And the main thing that I want you to see is this black shading that I've got behind it. All right. Zoom in. So this is cadmium yellow. This is my Star Joy. And I'm going to go ahead and make this an orange piece because that's typically holiday fruit. Zoom in. Now, I don't know where that smudge came from on the pencil. Point might have been a little dirty. And just get rid of that. Now, when you're coloring something like this, I would encourage you to change up your base color a little bit. So, in other words, make one section a teeny tiny bit darker than the other. Okay, now I'm going to take that slight orange as well, or that yellowish orange, and I'll go ahead and bring this out to my rim. Okay, now here's what makes it look really cool. Give me a moment here. Hello, Amy. Yeah, you need to really watch this video, my broadcast from the beginning. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and tint in some of this orange. And remember, when we've got it on the outside, and you blend that in, right? And I want you to notice that when I'm doing this, I am angling my lines in towards the center like a pie. So I'm going ahead and tinting this area here. Well, doggone. And you see how I'm bringing it in? Because you want to emulate what's going on with the orange. Questions, comments about about that? Isn't that pretty? Smooth that with my finger. And then I'm going to bring out a little bit of the darker color on the edge. Now, notice on the edge that I'm not coloring in the whole thing, okay? Just going to do little swatches of it. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. If you need to smooth over anything, go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is bring in my Brett Funner 011. And I'm just going to add a little bit of brown. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful how that really makes that look? And we don't need much. Just need to rebuild that color a little bit because I just erased it to clean up my mess. Okay. Oh, the irregular shapes are beautiful on this, Maddie. Now, if you go back and decide that you want to add a little bit more to the edges, to the top edges, have at it. Remember guys, when you tint in colors like I've been teaching you, it starts to become a visual cue to you. So Maddie will see oranges differently than I do. And Rhonda will see them differently than the two of us. And this is where you start customizing to what you envision, okay? And I just drew a brown line here. Let me get rid of that. Zoom out. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to take my cream color pencil. I use this on the tiger. This is my ivory from Faber-Castell, color number 103. Star, star, star. Oh, yay, Kathy's back. And now I'm going to take my ivory pencil, and the point's going to break. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to color in the white areas. And I missed one of the spots with my orange. Anybody have a question or comment about how I'm doing this orange? You may want to go with a slightly darker orange. Cool. And notice that you can also take your ivory. Oh, the stars of the light fast rating. Thank you, Wanda. I had forgotten that. Okay, this is 3 stars. I'd completely forgotten that. Yeah, as I was saying, this ivory and the cinnamon are my favorite in Faber-Castells, and Rhonda says she likes the salmon color. I'll have to look that up. So I'm taking the ivory and I'm using that as my blender. Oh, how pretty is that, guys? Zoom out. Zoom out. Wanda, what would I do without you? Can you guys see how this grouping is starting to really look terrific? Terrific. Okay, I've been so anxious to do, oh, the salmon is one of the skin tone colors? Okay, that's probably why Rhonda likes it so much. Okay, so I'm going to pop up to the wheat, thistle, not thistle. this stuff. And I'm going to use my color that's called Hay from Brett Funner, and the color is K38. Yeah, I'm going to order cinnamon. I'll look at the salmon color. I probably have it in my flesh tones. And this ivory. So I'm going through now. Which color did you use in the hummingbird? The hay, oh, the hay color? Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, everybody see how beautiful of a color this is? I love it. It seems to have like just a very slight greenish tone to it, maybe. Zoom in. Zoom in. And it's interesting, if you talk to a colorist and ask them if they have a favorite pencil color, most will be able to tell you. All right, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, there we go. Okay, so this is starting to give you an overall picture of what we're getting on this hay color. Absolutely beautiful. So Rhonda says, ILene, I'm trying to shift from my usual preference of muted and soft colors to more vibrant colors. Okay. A bit out of my comfort zone, but we'll see. Good. Zoom in. The thing is, Rhonda, if you don't try anything new, you're going to be in a coloring rut. And you've got to be willing to try, you know, new product and different mediums. And Wanda is right on that account. Color choice is a real factor, but using many layers also helps. That's right. And look how pretty this is turning out. Okay, I'll leave that little spot. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. Now, obviously, that's not the final color, right? Oh, let's see what we can get into here. The Cuban sand. I'd have to look that up. I can't lay my hands on it. I haven't tagged and organized all my pencils yet. Same color family? Okay. I'm actually going to use a brownish burgundy. K39. Now I want a little tint of a reddish brown color in here. Zoom in. And I'm just going to add a little bit to this color. All right, and then I'm going to use a hold on here. Good night, Miss Kathy. I hope you had fun. I'm going to use a Brett Funner sugar almond, and that is the K48. And what I want you to see now in adding that color, that little tint of my reddish brown, is that's going to tie into the apple that's right close to it. So it might have looked a little wonky to add that at the time, but now that you can see, zoom in, zoom in, that with the addition of these colors on top of my first color, we're getting a really nice wheatish color. All right. Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad that you do. Good night, sweetie. I'm so glad to have you part of our group. Okay, this little gap right here makes no sense because of the way the lines are drawn. So I've got to add in that tie that's underneath there. So I'll let that dry and come back to that later. Now be sure when you color, don't get streaky. And it's going to be really important that you keep rolling your pencil because you want to keep your point. Okay, and we're gonna have, let's see, yeah, we'll have some color through here. And I want you to notice again how this brown is picking up this reddish color that I put in earlier. I know that looked wonky, but I'm showing you why. And I'll zoom out in a second to show you this because it's coming out beautifully. Okay. Now, check out this brown as it goes over my orange that I just colored. And you'll see now how that brown is picked up in that orange where I used the darker brown. Okay, and this is why, peeps, it gets really important that before you color something, you really need to look at the overall picture just to see what's going on. All right, zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. All right. Zoom out. licorice black pencil. Zoom in. Anywhere that I see the straw overlap, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of shade. Let me color in that one area here. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit of shade of the black. Now, the reason that I'm doing black is because we've got so much brown right now that it's going to overload the picture if I come in with another brown. So in other words, I need a color that's going to get the job done without having to smoosh in a lot of colors. And what I want you to notice is I'm pressing just, again, butterfly kisses very lightly. And when I bring in the black, again, I'm just doing it in those places that I see the overlap. And it's very subtle, and I'm only taking 1 or 2 strokes. All right, let me roll this around. Well, let me do it this way again, sorry. Now, and as I've told you before, you got to be very, very careful with black. And the other thing that I want you to keep in mind is that we've still got a lot of things to be colored around this bow. So right now it may look like it's sticking out a little bit like a sore thumb. But remember, we've got other pieces now that are going to come in through this, right? Zoom out. Okay. Now, these black areas that I colored in with my pen, these are gaps in the bow. And I'm just going to go ahead and just darken that black again because, you know, it got colored over with the brown. And this is the whole idea of the piece here. Zoom in. Da, 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 da. Zoom out. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom out. Now, speaking of the pine cone that Maddie just brought up, zoom in. Again, I'm taking a black pen and I'm coloring in between the little nubbies of the pine cone. Isn't that beautiful? This is the, I want to tell you the right one, Rhapsody in the Forest. R-H-A-P-S-O-D-Y in the Forest. It's a gorgeous book. Okay. Let's color up a rose. You're welcome, Maddie. Let's color up a rose. And then that'll be it for the evening. Now, I colored the rose for you on the tiger, and that came out beautifully as well. So I am using a Brett Funner 074. So Maddie says back, that's the book for this month. We'll get it on affiliate. You'll love it, Maddie. Knowing you and your tastes, you'll love this book. Rhonda's got the other one of this book. Rhonda, what's your book again? Maddie, let me show you a picture of the cover. Zoom out. Zoom out. So that's the cover. And there are some beautiful, beautiful images, yeah. Look at that one. And that's a double. So anyway, oh, look at this one. Zoom out. I could see you doing this one. This got this half wreath all the way around it. Butterflies, yeah. Look at the little birds. Oh, yeah. Okay, back to the rose. Zoom in. Okay. Now we're gonna get serious with this color. Zoom in. And I'm still using my Brett Funner 74. And what I want you to notice on this one, zoom in, zoom in. What I want you to notice on this one is I didn't put a color underneath as my base color, a different color. Who's the author? I don't know. It's all in Chinese letters. You've got the other book. There's two of them. I've got the one, you've got the other. Now, if you have this book and you're coloring along, Forest Girl, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. I'm sorry, different authors. Yeah, and that's Apple, Aeppol. That's the two books I'm thinking of. Now, if you're coloring along with this, with me on this particular piece, this is not the time to get shy about doing robust colors. Okay, so you got both her books, Rhonda. Okay. Now I'm going to use a color called Beaujolais or Beaujolais, and this is by Brett Funner, R52 520. Zoom in. It might be too close. So this is now a darker, it's almost a dark purple. And I want you to notice how I'm bringing it out, zoom out. I want you to notice now how I'm bringing it out on the edges of all my petals. So I'm starting at the petals, and then I'm coming out with it. And this will make sense in a minute. Okay, I really want you to see this, guys. Now notice when I bring out this darker color that I'm not covering up my first one all the way, right? So now we've got several colors working, two colors working together. And as I get to the smaller area now, I'm making it a point to color more on the lines than I am on the flower part. Everybody see now how we have depth to that center because I did that. If I had just tried to color in the petals, it would be one blob of color. So when you get to the center of your rose, just trace the lines. Everybody clear on that? And notice how I'm bringing, again, that color, like I said, out on the petal. See how I'm streaking it? So I'm shadowing my edges, and then I'm even coming out with a streak. Do you see it? So there's a gap right there. All right, but I'm not done with this. Zoom out. Zoom out. Anybody care to guess what color I'm going to pull next? Let me grab some water. Oh, there we go. Okay. Zoom in. Black. And I'm going to use the black in the creases, and then I'm going to bring it out on the petal just a little bit, very lightly. Boom. And what I want you to notice is how much depth we're getting with that black. Don't be afraid to use it. Now I'm concentrating my black in the center spiral. Because I want that center to be pretty dark. And guys, this is where blending is going to be really important because you don't want to be streaky. Okay? I'm almost done. And then very judiciously, after I sharpen it, I'm going to bring up just a little bit of white. Now, don't go crazy with your white. And pick your spots carefully. Notice that I'm sticking basically to the middle and then the edges. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. We got ourselves a rose. Zoom in. Zoom in. Everybody see how this is coming together now? Now, I've got to be careful because I'm starting to get some bloom right here. So you just got to watch here. All right, questions. Anybody have any questions? Now, I'm going to go back to, give me 2 more seconds here. I'm going to go back to my orange slice. And just put a little bit of black in there too as well. Zoom in. I want that contrast and I want that richness. And I really want you guys to learn how to handle your black pencils. Zoom out. So this should give you an indication of how this entire piece is going to look. It is going to be in your face, vibrant, but it's going to be a rich vibrant, and it's going to make sense with all the berries and the nuts and the pine cones and everything else with it. You know, on the pine cone, this is about the time too where you can go ahead and add a little bit of white. So we've got all sorts of dimension going here. Can you guys give me 10 more minutes? I want to show you one more thing. And then I promise I'll quit. Okay, Wanda says yes. Rhonda says yes. Maddie, give me 10 more minutes. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of my iridescent glitter. And I'm going to pop it on my white spots. So the important thing here is that you get that white down first, and that acts as your base for your iridescent stuff. Zoom out. What do you think? And that glitter will settle in. You like? Yes, no, maybe. Zoom out. And again, guys, if you don't like it, that's fine. I just want to show you these ideas. I love that this makes it look like there's glittery snow on there. Okay, I'm calling it an evening. Hope you learned something. Phew, we talked about a lot. Oh, guys, love ya. All right, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Have fun, relax. Hope you learned something fun. And I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Okay, guys. Take care. Maddie, you're welcome. And boy, look how that looks dimensional. That glop of that glitter is making it puff up. Good night, Sarah. All right, take care. Bye.